Hello Libra, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that, Two of Cups, beautiful. Real love, real connection, right? That is a very strong bond with someone or something. Let's put it into some context. Yeah. Let's see what... Oh, Emperor energy. All right. A major arcana. Some earth energy. Some court cards. More court cards. More court cards, some water energy, some more air. Interesting. I think that this is going to be really good. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're just going to set it here, put Alien Simon Moore Ripley right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. And it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. Now, if at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling of what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments section. Okay? I'm trying to see if we can collectively raise our vibrations, tap into spirit, tap into source, and begin discerning the mystery cards together as a group exercise. Yeah? I hope you'll play along. Anyway, first, let's excuse my voice because I'm just getting over a bit of a cold. We have two major arcana energies. I see that we don't have any fire, but maybe this Emperor is taking the place of the fire, right? Maybe this is the fire that we need to really bring everything else to order, right? It kind of extends out to all the rest of these cards. We have definitely some water energy. Water, 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 water. We've got some air over here that we got to deal with. It seems like there's always a little bit of air, right? And then we have our earth energies as well, and even this, the devil energy under here, this is some earth energy. Now, I feel as if you are coming together with what is essentially your purpose, your destiny, right? I feel like you are making the commitment, you are joining forces with something that you love. Could be a person, right? Maybe you're getting into a new relationship. Maybe you're teaming up with a new publishing company, teaming up with the rest of the band, right? A publisher, an employer, right? A corporation, a company. I feel like you are experiencing a spiritual bond with something. Okay? And I think this is taking place both above, in terms of your uniting with your purpose, with God, Goddess, deity, right? With your destiny, but also happening below, on the physical plane. You're uniting with something in the physical world that is meant for you, right? Could be a person, could be an opportunity, a situation. And what this union is doing, I think, is empowering you. You've got that Emperor energy now. Some real boss energy. This is a type of spiritual activation. And again, please excuse my voice. My throat is pretty bad today. There's an empowering feeling. There is this authority, a confidence, an assertiveness that I think you are taking into the rest of your life. I think that there are some challenges. I think there are some other relationships, some other people, some other physical world obstacles that we're trying to overcome. And I feel as if now we're being given carte blanche. We're being given full authority to do this now, right? It's almost as if we've now received confirmation from our highest conception of spirit. And it's really empowering us. Now we're ready to go and kick some butt. Yeah. And I think that you have this intense drive to succeed because of this devil energy that's down below. Right? This is beneath the surface. This is, it reminds me of that Cake song, right? Satan is my motor. And this is kind of that devil energy that just, it's intense creative energy. It's enduring. It is, this is the energy that will climb the mountain. You put any mountain in front of it, this is the goat that's going to climb to the very, very top. Right? Does not give up. This is like a Honda engine, right? Put 500,000 miles on those things. Trust me, I have. And it won't give up. It won't quit on you. And this is the kind of drive that you have inside of you. And a lot of what this process is doing, this union that you're experiencing, it is allowing you to now take control of that engine. Give it a direction, give it a purpose. We're starting to get things done. Yeah? And I think it's through this major arcana energy that everything is falling into place. Right? Maybe not falling into place. Maybe we're putting everything in its place. Right? Because there's this command that I'm feeling from you. There's this no-nonsense, take control kind of attitude. Because your engine is running. No sense just letting it idle in the driveway, right? Let's start driving. And I think that's what you're doing. And I think it really is because of this union, because of the confidence or the inspiration that we feel through this interaction, through this coupling, through this union, through this relationship, through this contract, whatever it is. It's a real bond. Right? It could be a romantic thing. Like I said, it could be coming together with just the perfect counterpart, publisher, employer, whatever it is. Okay. And we're taking this emperor energy into these other realms of our life. We're taking them back to the past here. Because this is your ability to commit. Now, I think in days gone by, you've committed to things. You've immersed yourself in something. You've done the work. This is a builder. And I think that you've been involved in other construction projects before. You've tried to build a life, a future, a success, a business, maybe a relationship, whatever. You've tried to build before. And perhaps it didn't work out. Okay. In fact, I can see that it didn't. But this is a very important skill, talent, quality, very important spirit that you have. When you commit to something, you're all in. You're fixed in that. You are committed. You are probably one of the most hardworking and loyal people that you know. Right? And I think this sometimes can lead to disappointment because not everything that you commit to, not everything that you give all of your intensity to is going to succeed. And that's the Seven of Pentacles here at the top of the path of the dove. But there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with putting in all of this effort and not reaching the finish line, not having it succeed, having it basically fail. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. For one, you're learning what you're capable of. You're learning that the problem isn't you. So therefore the problem must be not other people. Right? But wait, if it's not you, if it's not them, where's the problem? I think the problem is in the connection between everything. Yeah. Because we are basically just our processes, our interactions. Our relationships are who we are. So the problem is not with you innately, the problem is not with what you're connecting with, but the nature of that connection. It's just not harmonious, it's just not the right fit. using two different connectors, trying to fit a USB-C into an old lightning port iPhone thing. It's not going to work, right? It's not going to connect. iPhone recently switched over to USB-C, so I think that's a very relevant analogy. But through the failures, these are the prototypes for success, right? We're getting the bugs out. We're learning what kind of relationship we want, what kind of employer we want, what kind of career are we looking for, right? What kind of partner do we want? We know that you have the ability to commit, to fire up the engines, and you're in it for the long haul. You're someone that can commit long term, right? Maybe you've been at the same job for decades. Maybe you're someone that can be in really long-term relationships and continue to work at it. Yeah. Well, whether you're entering into something new or you're revitalizing something that's already there, this is the moment where you're understanding how all the pieces come together. Because you're learning that the issue isn't with you. And the issue isn't necessarily with the other person. It's just the compatibility. Right? It's the connection between the devices. Right? No sexual innuendo there at all. Now, in the future position, we've got a Princess of Cups. This is something that really could lead to you getting swept away with this kind of magic, right? The Princess of Cups is a very dreamy type of card. Can get lost in all of the sensuality, can get lost in the emotion, can get lost in the enthusiasm, can get just kind of swept away, very dreamy, right? And this is something that, well, sounds nice. It's not very emperor-like, though. We need to stay in control of that, because this is this energy. It's easy for us to kind of get hoodwinked. It's easy for us to think that something is a lot different than what it is, right? There's a little bit of naivete in this card. And that's because it just wants to live in the imagination. It wants to daydream. It wants to be in the fantasy of it all, right? It wants to live in this magical world. We do need that. There's a reason why this card is here. But we have to understand what the function of that magic, that fantasy is. Okay? And I think the Emperor here really is you being able to keep all of these different components functioning harmoniously, functioning as a whole. Because the Emperor has to keep an eye on the entire realm, right? The entire life. Not just one aspect of it, but everything. Your emotional life, your mental, intellectual life, your relationships, your physical existence, right? We don't want to forget about that. Your spiritual aspirations, your creativity, everything. And yeah, the Emperor may have advisors that can bring information, but it still is the one that has to decide. We see that here with the Seven of Swords. This is in the position of your environment. This is everything coming into the environment. The Seven of Swords, this was our daily card for today too, by the way. This kind of, to me, it looks like there's the authority, right? The big sword in the middle. And all of these advisors, right? The council people, the viziers, the czars, the privy council, whatever you want to call it. They're all coming in with their little bits of information, of suggestions, of advice, recommendations, right? Of plan. Each one has their own agenda too, right? Don't be fooled by that. But the ultimate decision, the final say, comes down to that central sword. That Emperor. And in this case, the Emperor, right, the Emperor is holding the wand, holding the will, holding this, the Ace of Wands. The original impulse, the final say in everything. But in this card, that wand is now replaced by a sword. Because that sword is the sword of analysis. It's the sword that can either divide or unify. It's the sword that takes in everything, but takes it with a grain of salt. Right? Is able to really see and dissect what people are saying. You can separate out what other people are telling you, the facts from the fiction, the facts from the personal agenda, and also from your own mind, your own energy, your own thoughts and feelings. So you're able to see that if your choice, the decision that you're about to make over here in this particular area of life, is that really based on adherence to your purpose, to your will? Is there a little bit of other emotions in there? Is there a little bit of this Princess of Cups kind of just trying to get their way? Right. So you're able to really analyze your own choices, your own decisions, your own thoughts and feelings, right? And to see what can be discarded, what can be ignored, right? And what is really essential to the forward movement of your life right now. So the Seven of Swords really is seeing how everything fits together. It really is the puzzle coming together. But I think with the Seven of Swords, you're going to get a lot of puzzle pieces that don't really belong to your picture. So we have to know what we're looking at. We have to know what we're building so that we can say, okay, does this piece fit in, or is this from a different puzzle altogether? Well, that's the Princess of Swords down here. This is the energy that has to test. This is that part of your mind that has to test every theory that you have. Every puzzle piece that you find, you're going to test it. You're going to see if this is part of your plan, a part of your life, if this is meant for you, or if it's somebody else's puzzle. So there's a lot of mental work going on with you right now. And I think it might even lean into suspicion or even defensiveness, right? Too many people around you trying to give you advice, trying to give you information, trying to help you. You're getting a little suspicious of that. You're saying, whoa, let's hold on. Now, I'll listen to what you have to say, but I'm going to have my guard up a little bit, right? Just like the emperor with all the advisors. We're not just blindly accepting everything that comes into our life, or everyone. See, the air is also not only the thoughts, but it's the relationships between thoughts, the relationships between people, right? Again, the problem isn't with you, the problem isn't with the others, it's with the compatibility of the devices, the connection between your purpose and the energy that's coming in, the information that's coming in, the opinions that are coming in, the opportunities, the other people that you might meet, relationship choices, really, is what it's all about. Now, we're using the Emperor and the air energy, right? The Emperor is wielding the sword to cut through the thoughts and feelings. So there's going to be a lot of new feelings brewing up in you too. In fact, the rest of the cards here are all water cards. So we have to learn about the water energy. That's the biggest obstacle here, is this Queen of Cups. And to me, it could be talking about a water sign person in your life. It could be an older feminine energy water sign person. I'm getting an A name for some reason. For some of you, maybe that might be relevant to you. But I think that this card really is talking about the challenge of knowing our own desires, right? This is some very deep water. There's the surface level water, which is just us, our defense mechanism, I think, that we've evolved as humans over thousands of years, where we just reflect, we mirror the vibe of the group so that we can all get along, so that we can fit in, that we can survive, right? so we don't get ostracized and cast out of the cave and have to fend for ourselves in the rain. We reflect whatever the group vibe is, right? Because the surface of water, very reflective. And it just reflects everything back, and we kind of all just get along. But then we go a little bit deeper than that. Just beneath that surface, there are the surface level desires. Well, the surface level needs too. Food, shelter, companionship, right? And that is really the motivation for just kind of mirroring the environment, mirroring others, so that we can get food, shelter, and companionship, right? We continue to go deeper. And then we see what might be lurking kind of on the border between conscious and unconscious, right? Kind of a personal unconscious, the subconscious. And these are desires that we really aren't aware of until they kind of pop up and we can see them for just a moment. We go deeper than that even. We get into this collective realm where we kind of are able to understand the desires of everybody, right? Everybody has the surface level, the shallow end, and the deeper. And at a very deep level, we are all essentially the same, right? We all kind of want the same things. We all have the very same picture, right, of who we are and what we want. It's kind of a collective thing. So the idea with this card is, how deep are we fishing, right? Maybe this Ace of Swords is like the fishing pole. How deep are we going down? Are we going all the way to the bottom? We're trying to really tap into that collective need as a human race, Or are we fishing somewhere in the shallow end, right? Do we just want to have our kind of basic needs met? And maybe that's all we're really looking for in our interactions with other people, right? Because we're talking about the swords as the fishing pole, right? What kind of compatibility are you looking for with other people? Are you just looking for surface level compatibility? Just those basic surface, shallow end needs, that's all. The rest of that depth is just for you, right? Or are we really looking to make that connection, to find other people that we connect with on that very, very deep level, right? People that may share the same hopes and dreams and secrets that you have. Well, I think that's what you're working out in your life right now, okay? And I think that's a lot of what I think it really feels like the Seven of Swords is the focal point here, because we're trying to evaluate the types of relationships we have in our life with other people, with things, with hobbies, with places, right? With ourselves, with our own desires, our own memories, our own activities and habits, behaviors. And we're trying to discover, what do we really need? How does everything fit into this puzzle that is our life, right? What do we hope to get out of our interactions with others, with your friends, your family, your spouse, your neighbors, your community, with strangers, right? When you meet someone on the street, what's our motivation there, right? Is it just simple interaction? I just want to make sure that we don't bump into each other, right? Just want to make sure that we can somehow get around each other harmoniously, right? Or is there a desire there for a deeper connection, to maybe just get some sort of acknowledgement even, or recognition, or a very surface level connection, right? Or are we looking for something deeper? Do we have a longing? Is that what we're kind of fantasizing about, daydreaming about? Right. Well, I think the Emperor is bringing some light to all of these areas. Primarily, I think this area of relationships, and what kind of relationship are we really looking for? Because again, let's not forget, let's go back to the beginning, this Two of Cups. I feel like you're making a connection that really is putting a lot of this into perspective. It's giving you a good idea of where everything fits into your life. I think that's why I'm asking the questions. What kind of a connection is this? How deep of a bond is this, or is it going to be, or do you want it to be? Well, it's definite. There's an emotional component here for sure. The end of the path of the serpent is the 5 of Cups. And this really is, I think, asking ourselves, what has disappointed us in the past? 5 of Cups. It's all about like negative emotions that come, or a positive emotion that comes, but then the idea of it washing back away. Good feeling comes, we can't hold on to it. It's a wave. It's gonna go back out again. And we're left unfulfilled. We're left disappointed, right? Maybe hoping we could catch some of that wave in a tide pool at least, for a minute. To hang on to it, right? Maybe it'll fill our cup a little bit or something. But we're asking ourselves, what has disappointed me about past relationships? Friendships, romantic relationships, business relationships, whatever, right? Family relationships. Relationships with your own spirit and soul. Relationships with God, goddess, deity, right? We can expand this as far as we need. Your fundamental disappointment with your relationship with the universe, with life itself. What is missing? What has been disappointing us? That wave that comes and then goes back out again, we're kind of reaching for it. We don't want it to go. What is that? Right? And I think this is another fundamental question. We all need to ask ourselves, especially now. There's so much going on in the world. There's so much just pain and sorrow and chaos. It's like any good wave that comes our way, I think we all want to hang on to it. But then it's going to wash out again. What is it that we really want? What do we want that wave to be? If we can figure it out, maybe we do have a way of, kind of holding our cups out and letting it fill a little bit, right? Or somehow manifesting this in a different way. A lot of air, a lot of water here today, okay? And what I see with these two, again, is the idea that you can commit, you can put all of your effort into something for the long haul. And what this is to me, this is you doing the work of all of this. See, there's so much, well, I'm going to keep that water over there, but there's so much air and water. Well, no, let's just put that over there. So much air and water. This is what we're trying to sort out. And if we can figure out what all these things are, then maybe we can solidify it a little bit. And I think that's what's going on with you right now. The Emperor is able to sort this stuff out and find a way to do what's best for the realm and bring restore the land of Montsalvat, right? It reminds me of the Fisher King, the Grail quest. When the lance and the cup, right? We've got swords and we've got cups. When the lance and the cup come together, then the land is healed, right? And what's up here? This is land that needs healing. And that's what the Emperor is doing right now. This is what you're doing right now. Sorting this out, bringing thinking and feeling together, figuring out what we want so that we can bring healing to the land, which is ourself, so that we can succeed in our goals and of taking this dark 7 of Pentacles and creating something lively and beautiful and abundant and growing, right? Let's look at the mystery card now. I wonder if this is going to be 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. Well, if you want to venture a prediction, put your answer in the comments section down below. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with a 9 or a 10 of Pentacles here. Because I want to see that we're manifesting, that we're taking this understanding, we're uniting our thinking and our feeling, we're figuring all this stuff out. And we're going to materialize it. We're going to make positive steps in the physical, mechanical world, right, to bring that down to reality. Like 9 or a 10 of Pentacles. It's the moon. It's the moon. So I think, yeah, with the moon, it seems like we're right on the cusp of this, right? But it seems like we're not quite there yet. It seems like we need that illumination. We need, this is like a new moon energy. We need the light to dawn, right? And this is some darkness now, like what we see here. This is where we are. It's dark. But on the other side of this night is the sunrise, right? Illumination, clarity, vision. And I think that's why the Emperor has to do the work of the lance and the grail, the swords and the cup. Okay, to bring about the illumination. And the illumination is what's right on the other side of this moon. The moon card is a doorway. It says that, hey, it's dark and scary and uncertain and just wild right now. But the sun's going to rise in a few hours and everything will be clear. Plants will grow. We'll see the abundance, right? This looks like a dark, scary kind of forest, right? Well, soon that sun will rise and it'll illumine that. But we have to do this work first. I think this is a confirmation of that. All right. Now, we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, click on the link up in the corner. That'll give you access to every extended reading, not just for Libra, for all signs. You can cross-watch, check your other placements. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.